Good morning. It is Tuesday, September 27th, 90 days out from Boxing Day, the day, no pugilism, no fighting, the day after Christmas. So 90 days out from December 26th. Into it today, and as we start at 9 o'clock, we've got Ignite, which continues for the region. The link is in the morning news for that. That is digital for the region, and our market center is leading the way today. So Susan Kenyon will be driving the conversation and taking you through the materials for today's session. I'm going to hang out in the room as well, and we would love to see you for Ignite. What I can tell you is, beyond the shadow of a doubt, the attendance over the course of the month drops off. If you're available to hang this morning with Susan Kenyon, we would love to have you in the room and have a great showing from 463 for Ignite today. So push the button. It's in the news. We'll see you at 9 o'clock in just a few minutes. Above and beyond that, you've got Jason Westcott. He is doing land deals. That is in Meredith today. That is at 12:30 in the Meredith training room today. And he will actually be here tomorrow, and we'll get to that in a second. He's teaching that today in Meredith, 12:30 with Jason Westcott. And prior to that, at 11 o'clock, you can jump into Scripps, and that is on kellertv.com. So that's happening at 11 o'clock. Jason's going to host that as well because I'll be in Ignite. 2 o'clock, Summer of Shift, 2 o'clock, Summer of Shift, and that is continuing. Even though we're well past summer, the region is doing that at 2 p.m. The link is in the news. So there's your schedule for today. Now, as we grow into the rest of the week, tomorrow morning, you've got Vermont at 9 o'clock. So we are doing Vermont contracts because risk mitigation starts at 10. Here's your schedule. You've got Vermont that is going to be hybrid from Portsmouth. So you got an opportunity to do contracts ultimately in the training room, and above and beyond that, it's going to move straight through risk mitigation. So whether you're in Portsmouth or Meredith, it's on the big screen typically, and they're going to be doing it from Portsmouth tomorrow. So Vermont will be hosted out of our Portsmouth training room for 9 o'clock, and if you're a Vermont licensed agent, we trust that you intend to be there either in person in one of the training rooms or digitally, because it will be a hybrid event. I think we're using the Looking Chicken for that. Well, when you hear us say Looking Chicken, we rename everything here. I think you've caught up with that by now. It is the Owl. If you're in any sort of event where you ultimately need to drop one camera in the center of a conference table, they're a phenomenal tool, although they can be cost prohibitive. It's not your average webcam. It's all baked in microphone. And if you've been in the training room when we're using it, you've seen what it looks like. It actually looks like an owl, and the camera is rotated across the top. So when you're watching the training room tomorrow, you'll see there's a panoramic shot, and then whoever starts talking, one of the cameras grabs that person, and the microphone closest to that person activates. So they are $1,000. So if you're wondering if it's a good move for you and your team to have one at your mega agent office, it's worth looking into. At this point, you might be able to get away with one that might be refurbished and get a little less expensive, because I'm sure the Owl 2.0 is coming, and then the original Owl will be a little less expensive. But then you run the risk that they're not going to do the software updates for the original Owl. So there's that. There's my sidebar diatribe about digital cameras. The Owl will be in play tomorrow. So again, 9 o'clock Vermont, 10 o'clock risk mitigation. What are we doing with risk mitigation? What is this thing you speak of? Attorney Hyde gives us 2 hours every quarter. He gives us a ton of time, actually, because he's a sage. Every quarter we get 2 hours with him in an environment where he has gone through some of the questions that have been submitted over the course of the last 89 days. And what's the word I'm looking for? He distills them down. That's what we do. And then he's going to speak to those questions. So do understand it's not 120 minutes of you get to raise your hand and ask questions. We want those submitted ahead of time. You can get those over to Sue Doyle. You can get those over to Jen Vashon. And those questions will get in front of Attorney Hyde, and then he'll figure out what he's going to talk about. But it's tomorrow now, so I would say the menu is pretty well set, although there will be an opportunity here and there to raise your hand and ask questions just for clarity on the topics he speaks of. And depending on the time frame and whether he gets to everything or doesn't get to everything, he might be able to answer some ancillary questions as well. So you should be in that conversation, and you can do that either in person in Portsmouth or digitally with the hybrid link, which is going to be Keller TV. Again, just like contracts, risk mitigation does not get recorded. And for further information on why we don't record it, we actually got the intel not to record it from our attorney, and that is Stephen Hyde. He'll be with us tomorrow. So we do that to make sure that we are not leaving loose and flowing information that is not evergreen out there in the ether. Pixie dust. Matthew McConaughey, now Wolf of Wall Street. It's a wootsy, it's a whatsy. No, good movie. You've seen the movie, I trust. I hope. Right after that, in Portsmouth, the class he's teaching today at 12:30, he'll be teaching tomorrow at 12:30 in Portsmouth. Land deals with Jason Westcott again tomorrow at 12:30. Now, the reason he's doing it today in Meredith and tomorrow in Portsmouth is it's an in-person only class. So join Jason in the room. That's a great day set up for you, quite honestly. You could get in here at a reasonable time. You could listen to contracts for Vermont if you're not a Vermont licensed agent yet. No harm in that. Be in the room for Hyde from 10 to noon. There will be sustenance, as always. And then after 12 o'clock, there's a little bit of a break. At 12:30, you're in a great class about land deals with Dr. Jason Westcott. So why would you not do that? I mean, your menu might be full for the day. I appreciate that. If it is not, lean into that conversation for sure. Because you guys invariably, and I say this in jest and with love, invariably somebody on Thursday is going to reach out to us and say, when is Jason teaching again? And I get to say, yesterday and the day before that. So, we put things on the calendar that we know you guys want to see. We do our damnedest to make sure there is not too much fat. Took that personally. Not too much fat on the calendar. It is meat on the bone. And we're always going to make sure the repeat offenders, the classes you want, come back time and time again. At the same time, said with love, you hear people joke, well, the calendar is so big, and you run the risk of becoming a professional student. I'm going to correct that. Professionals get paid. If you become the ever student at Keller Williams, and there's a risk of this happening, because you can, I don't want to hurt people's feelings, I'm still going to say it, you can hide in the education here. You can hide in the education. Now, you'll notice it is only on Wednesdays that we put inflammation. There's an L in there. There'll be a quiz later. We only do this on Wednesdays because we are ripping you away from lead generation because we know you're free because we're just going to pull you out of the engagement you would have been in, all your lead generation, and then we're putting you into contracts. So when you generate the lead and the appointment and work with the client, you are sending them down the right path and you're assisting them in the conversation of the transaction appropriately because you're so well versed and read. I know it doesn't seem like we always know what the hell we're doing. Nathan's been at this for 18 years. We've been doing this for quite some time. And everything is on purpose. Now, there's a lot of stuff that ebbs and flows, and we pivot quite often. Our calendar is on purpose. You hear us talk about E2P all the time, entrepreneurial to purposeful. Our calendar is purposeful. So please look at that on a regular basis. And you can look at the calendar. I mean, if you go into the news right now, we always slate out what today is, and then the rest of the week. Now, Wednesday should be a non-starter. Wednesday mornings, I mean, every morning, right? Every morning between 9 and 11, we guard your business. We put nothing there. We want you guys head down, hard up. Service first, sales second. You should be on the phone or engaging with your humans to create those opportunities. If you look at the calendar and you're like, that's the class I need, this will better me. Not to mention, so much of it is also offered hybrid. So there's a digital aspect. You don't need to leave home. And above and beyond that, a lot of it is recorded and then moved to our LMS. This is all by design. We're doing everything we can do to make sure that you have the opportunity to take care of you, to do what's right for your business. We are putting together an environment to suit everyone's needs. But I'm talking to you right now. Your business. We have to be selfish about where we're going individually so we can be selfless moving forward. That is a must. If you are not selfish about how you're going to build you, the ability to be selfless moving forward will not be a thing. We've all got contacts. We've all got friends. We've all got loved ones down in Florida, right? And you're thinking, God, I'd love to be able to go down there and help, or go down there after the fact and help, or be able to send money. This is one of those moments. When the storm a few years ago hit Houston and we flipped Mega Camp and made it Mega Relief, there were people that were going to Mega Camp, and then Mega Camp got shut down because they needed the convention center for Mega Relief. There were people that weren't going to Mega Camp that ended up going to Mega Relief because that filled their heart. There were people that sent $10 checks. There were people that sent $10,000 checks. So ask yourself, should someone in Florida need you? Should someone in Portsmouth need you? Should someone in Wells need you? Have you guarded yourself enough that you can give them a little bit of your time or a little bit of your money? Because both are energy. They're both energy. That's all money is. It's energy. Are you creating time and money? Both are opportunity, right? And I would argue right now in this day and age, your time spent with somebody else, if you invest your time, are you spending your time or investing your time? Are you spending your money or investing your money? So your time spent today can be spent and gone, or invested to build you, or invested to build others. You have to take moments throughout the day to be selfish, so moving forward, you can be selfless. And I hope that makes sense about our calendar. Don't get lost in the education. At some freaking point, you got to go hit a bucket of balls. You got to go play golf. You have to leave the clubhouse. The lessons will be over. And the limiting belief, I'm not ready yet. None of us are. There is going to be a question, a comment, a concern that none of us could solve alone, but we can fix it together. We can serve it together. We can answer it together. We can solve it together. But if we stay in a pack, the power of the 740 doesn't make any sense. It's when we come together and we crowdsource our knowledge and educational opportunities, so then as we all grow, we can disseminate and use our individual strengths, our individual books of business to help more people, to create more raving fans. That's the video game of what we're doing. You're waiting for the perfect time to make the call. You're waiting for your business cards to be just right. You're waiting for your website to be just right. Absent the relationship with you, all they have is your reputation. So yes, is it important that your marketing pieces are dusted up? Sure. Will your website ever be perfect? No. Talk to a 30-year veteran. Ask them if their website is perfect. I guarantee it's not. It's not. What's perfect? Does it serve a need? Does it connect the masses to them? Do they care? You're going to run into agents that, they completely appreciate it's 1987 and websites are important. That's not their top priority. They're doing something else to connect with their people. Social media is important. I practice not rolling my eyes. Tell me how I do. Your business cards are important. The sigh was too much, probably. You getting in touch with them is important. That is important. Please become selfish to grow you. So after 12, You can go out and be selfless. They serve one another. Trust me. On Thursday, as we roll through the rest of the calendar, on Thursday, we've got Business Planning Clinic. Now, there's two things going on, and I appreciate this. If you are a commercial agent and you had a chance to be in the Shark Tank here in Portsmouth with Nathan W. Dickey from 10 to 11 o'clock, it's Nate. It's going to run past 11. Spoiler alert. By all means, be in that room. Full day in the training room, also available online. There's a link for the Zooms. If you're signed up, you've got the information. You can sign up for the Business Planning Clinic. The link is right there. It's Thursday, September 29th. We'll be in Portsmouth this Thursday in the classroom and also online. It's Business Planning Clinic. It is a full day. This is where we plan 2023. This is where you take the day to be selfish and focus on you so you can leave the room and lean into the year for 2023 and be selfless. If you can't make Thursday, that's okay. Honest conversation, I think the best time to get into Business Planning Clinic is September because you've put at least 93.5% of your plan together for October 1st. If I'm doing things October 1st, if I'm executing activities October 1st, those are going to come into fruition by January 1st. You're 90 days out from starting to create opportunities for 2023. There's no wrong time to get started. So Thursday, October 27th, we'll be in Meredith. Same, in the room and online. We have a date for November for North Conway. We have a date for December for York. We are going to clarify those for you soon. And if you're waiting for the January 36th date, I'm happy to kick you in the throat. Please don't wait. Don't promise yourself you're going to go to the last one. And the link that Cassie from the region shared, there's opportunities all over the region. I'm not crazy. I know if you guys can go sit in front of somebody else and have them teach a business planning clinic, you're like, cool. I want to go do that. I love Tim, but not that much. I hear you. I completely appreciate that. Go lean into a regional conversation. We'd love to have you here. I'd love to have you here. Look at the regional map. There are other classes taking place. And if Thursdays don't work for you because you're jumping into bold, I completely appreciate that. Wednesday, November 2nd, I'm heading down to Chestnut Hill, and we're going to teach in Boston. We're going to be teaching for the Chestnut Hill and Boston and Framingham Market Centers on Wednesday, November 2nd at the Chestnut Hill Market Center. Details on that are coming to the region soon. Ashley Harwood, the coach down there, is setting all that up right now. Wednesday, November 2nd. So there's a ton of chances to get into Business Planning Clinic. And these are massive opportunities for you to take a long look at what you want next year to be. Anxiety only exists where there's lack of a plan. If you spent this year being anxious and you're looking back saying, I didn't have a plan. I mean, I cobbled together some random thoughts throughout the year, and there's no judgment here. Everyone is here to do the right thing. I appreciate that. And this goes back to entrepreneurial to purposeful. And I joke about this all the time. When people are like, well, I don't use scripts. Or I didn't really make a plan for this year. I was just going to wing it. Well, as we've always joked, Wing It is right down Lafayette Road. They sell chicken. They don't have any listings. Let's stop winging it. Let's put together a plan. And let's put together a plan that honestly freaks you out a little bit. Let's aim a little bit higher than you expected. As I've always said to you guys, when we run into you in the hallway, when Zoe and I see you in the hall, we're never, ever going to ask you how many calls you made. And said with love, If there's a leader at our company that's asking you how many calls you made, I won't finish that thought. I'll let you take that one on your own. I don't feel that's a best practice. I feel that's a disservice to you. Because our number one driver of our business is appointments. And quite honestly, it's an incorrect question. How many calls did you make? How many conversations did you have? You can make all the calls you want and stay on the phone. It's not about dials. It's not about calls. It's about conversations. When we talk about Ignite, it's 10 conversations. Gary said when we hit COVID, double down, make it 20. Bold is 20 conversations. Double down, make it 40. Conversations. The national average isn't 20 dials, 19 no's to a yes. It's 20 conversations, 19 no's to a yes. 19 no's to a yes. Crap. Yup. National average. And then you've got to remember the 19 no's. 95% of the 19 no's have nothing to do with you. They have to do with the circumstances that we haven't helped our friends and our families, our consumers, our future clients clear the deck in their head. They've already written the story. They've already weaved the fable of why they can't buy, sell, or invest. They've already mentally, financially, and emotionally handcuffed themselves in the conversation. Our job is to stay curious. Our job is to ask the next question. I tell you guys all the time, it's going to be on the back of my gravestone. Ask great questions, take great notes, have honest conversations. And then people say to me, well, Timmy, what's a great question? The next one. Are you staying curious enough to uncover their motivation? You can't give me motivation. I can't give you motivation. By staying curious and asking each other questions, we can uncover each other's motivation. That's our frickin' job. So being selfish in the morning and spending time learning the scripts, whether you like it or not, allows you after 12 to be selfless and to make it all about them and ask them questions about their hopes and dreams and plans and aspirations. But we got to work on us first. We got to stay selfish in the morning to work on us, to build us. Your business will grow to the extent that you do. The quality of your life will correspond to the level of questions you ask. What questions are you asking? What is the quality of the questions you are asking? And who are you asking those questions? There's a direct correlation between those three metrics and the quality of your life. And define that however you want, because it's not all about money. It's about freedom. And time and money are the two currencies our loved ones want from us the most. And we all, at some point, to some extent, chose this industry so we could have control over those two things. We chose this industry because we knew we could be in charge. And I joke about this all the time, and it's absolutely true. The coolest part about real estate is you're in charge. The most horrifying part of real estate is that you're in charge. There's responsibility there. There's accountability there. And all of that is alleviated as soon as we make a plan and become selfish. Shelthy is what I'll call it. Selfishly healthy. About taking care of you, getting your sleep, getting your mental rest, fueling yourself properly throughout the day, surrounding yourself with the right people, and growing your skill set. Gary put it perfectly at Mega Camp. We just left a fast-paced industry to move into a skill-based. And every time there's a shift, the skill-based, the strong agents, the ones who are selfish enough in the morning to stay focused on them and carving themselves a new life. So after 12, you can be selfless and lean into the conversations with the people that you know and love and trust. The other great thing that's going to happen, the kids that don't wrap their arms around that, can't wrap their heads around that, can't wrap their hearts around that, are going to be gone. They're going to be gone. And there's a blessing in that. The field opens up. You had people, mark my words, you had people that stole listings from you because they were breathing in the last 28 months. That's about to go away. But there's also very talented people that are already telling themselves a story that nobody's going to list today. They're going to write that headline, and then they're going to spend the day searching for the evidence to cobble that shitty story together. Because that's what that is. You get to author your greatness today. You get to be selfish today and take care of you and your business and your skill set so you can be selfless after 12. What did you want this to look like? What did you want this to look like? Think about that. Write that down. And then I'll ask the brief, simple question now. What in the hell are you waiting for? Because somebody, it's in the book that we know and love and trust from our friend Michael Mayer, M-A-H-E-R, not John's dad. They don't play guitar. Michael Mayer, The 7 Levels of Communication. Today, somewhere in your city, someone's looking for help, and it's your job to find them. So, what will you do to better yourself, to put on your cape of real estate and be the frickin' superhero they need to navigate them through this conversation? Not the person who's thinking about it. We're kicking tires. We'll talk to a lender if we find something. Get them out of your way. They're wasting your time. They're taking your talents away from the person who truly needs you. Find the person that requires your help today. And it's okay if you don't have all the answers. It's okay if you don't feel ready. You don't need to be great to start. You have to start to be great. You have to choose today that you're going to reset and get ready for a phenomenal fourth quarter that's going to light your first quarter and 2023 on fire. Only you can make that choice. This industry is not about the chosen few. It's about the few who choose. Gary says it all the time. And you can be anywhere you want in 5 years. And you can delay that at 9 o'clock, or you can say, I start now. If we can help, let us know. Your brokers are at broker@kwclm.com. Your transactional coordination with Jason Houle is at Fulcrum, FULCRUMTS.com. Marketing at KWCLM.com is the email for Alana Babineau. KWCLMmarketing.com is their full suite of services. If you need me to clear your head, to clear some scripts, if you need to borrow some of my confidence in you to get on the phone today, please reach out. Join us in Ignite at 9 o'clock. Our Market Center is teaching. Susan Kenyon is brilliant. I get to sit and watch her be brilliant. I'm sure I'll chime in from time to time because I have trouble not talking. If you need my face, it's meetwithcoach.com. Meetwithcoach.com. 603-834-2856. We are so honored to be in business with you. I beg you to lean in and be in business with us. Have a great day. We'll see you in and around the Market Center. Take care.